your why. I'm going to spend probably an hour on this. Is that okay?
Yes.
Whether it is or not, I'm still doing it. I'm just kidding. So here's what I want you to do. Think about this. If you asked me 4.5 years ago why I was doing this business, I would tell you, I want to take care of my mom and dad financially. One sentence, right? But you know from that one sentence that it's pretty important to me. And I tell you, would you agree?
Yes.
Okay. And I will do anything to take care of my mom and dad. Anybody have kids?
Yes.
Would you do anything for your kids?
Yes.
Okay. I want you to write down, this is the piece of paper. It's very important. I don't want you putting it in your phone because you're going to have to circle and do some stuff. Does everybody have a piece of paper?
Yes.
Okay. Please do this, please. I want you to write down, before you write, I want you to think about it. I want you to write down in one sentence, number one, why you're doing this business. And what the most important, not and, but it should be the most important thing in your life right now. So I didn't have food. I was about to lose my house. I lost everything. That was important that I get that, right? It was important that I eat. It was important that I get a car. It was important that I have shelter. But the most important thing in my life was financially taking care of my mom and dad. You guys get that?
Yeah.
Nothing ever was going to stand in my way of getting that. Like you'll notice I'll get a little graphic and I get dramatic about stuff and I get a little crazy about stuff. But let me explain why I do that, because I'm going to do it. Because I need to make you think. Sometimes when you go to a training or you listen to stuff, you just listen. And it doesn't get your emotions going. I want you to think. Some of you are going to get mad at me. Some of you might get upset. Some of you might cry a little bit. Anybody bring tissue? Okay. But if that happens, it's making you think. And I'm only doing it because I know that I'm just like you. You're just like me. Something's got to drive you. Because people go, man, I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't know what it is. I don't know the drive that I have. I've got a job. I've got a career, but I want this. And I have to like shake you up so that you're like, you know what? He's right. I'm going to go for this. I'm going to do it. So I want you to write down in one sentence. And if you don't want somebody to see it, cover it. Don't look at somebody else's page. Just write it down in one sentence, the most important thing that you think about morning, noon, and night that's so important. Why you're in this business. And I know that I'm looking out there and I see people, some people are struggling with it. They're having a hard time with it. I don't know what it is. You guys all got that? Anybody having a hard time with it? Yeah? No. Some people are. I know that, and that's fine. What we're going to do, if you can't think of something, we're going to figure that out today. We're going to figure it out. Because all the how to do things, I think, are irrelevant unless you have a reason that you're doing this. You guys get what I'm saying? Okay. So, did everybody write it down? Yes. Okay. Anybody want to like shout out what it is? Anybody want to say?
Create a legacy for my grandchildren. Create a legacy for my grandchildren.
Okay. Anybody else?
Change careers.
Change. Okay. And let me ask this. If you shout it out, I might ask you some questions about it. I'm not picking on you, but I'm trying to get you to think. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Yours was what? And this could help everybody.
Change my career.
Okay. What do you do?
I'm a teacher.
Okay. Why don't you quit tomorrow and go work at McDonald's?
I'm a single parent mom. I'm a great vacation.
Okay. Where could you work? Nowhere. Okay. So you need to make money. Okay. But the reason I asked that is I want her to think like what she wants to do. You guys get that? Excuse me. Dang it, Raylyn. That's a sneeze.
Sorry.
You cannot be sick.
You will not be sick.
I will not be sick. And the reason I ask those things is because I want you to think, like, I want a new career. Okay, what are you gonna do? I don't know, I can't do anything. I gotta make money, I'm a single parent. So that might drive you into this business more. Anybody else wanna shout out what they want? Yeah.
Be a better mom or wife to my children.
What's that so everyone can hear?
Be a better mother or wife to my children and husband.
Okay,
Whether that be emotional or financial.
okay. With that, let me ask you this. Can this business help you do that?
Both. Yes.
How?
EHT.
Okay. Well, you can just be a customer for that.
Yes.
Okay. How will the business help?
We can't hear what she said.
She's saying like taking the EHT and stuff like that, like the products. I said, oh, you can just be a customer.
Yes.
How else?
And,
Do you need more time freedom and money freedom?
yes.
Okay, so we can help you that way.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else? Yeah.
I am a chronic pain sufferer. My spine is fused, and the part that's not fused is destroyed because I've been getting her. So the quality of life I used to have is down to like 10%. And I work.
I don't mean to interrupt.
Yeah.
And I'm not being rude. I'm making a real, all across the board. One sentence of why you're doing this business.
I need time freedom so I can increase the quality of life.
Did you guys hear that?
No.
So she said time freedom so she can increase her quality of life. And I wasn't trying to be rude, but there's a whole backstory of why she wants that. And it's personal. You guys get that? So a lot of people how many people want to make more money? You know, I say to people, okay, go get a part-time job at McDonald's. And what do you think people say? That's not what I want. Okay, ready? What do you want time freedom for? What do you want money freedom for? What do you want more money for? What?
Help others.
What do you mean retire? Like quit your job? Do what you want when you want. Get out of debt.
See my
Oh.
kids.
You guys hear that? Go to the fertility clinic so she can have a baby. So wait a minute, you ready for this? Is that pretty important?
Yes.
Like, very. Am I right? I don't know what it's like to be a woman that can't have a baby. It's gotta be tough if you want babies, right? That ranks pretty high up. That's up. I put that up where with my feeling of me taking care of my family. You might say no, that's way higher, right? That's what I'm talking about, that kind of stuff. It's like, there's a time crunch on that, right? And that's big money. She needs the money and you pay it. And if you don't have a baby, you pay it and it's gone, right? Some people spend $50,000, $100,000 cash to do that. You guys get what I'm saying? Now I want you to go back to the reason why, and I want you to write next to it, yes or no, on the right-hand side, if that's the most important thing to you right now. Yes or no? And if it's not, we gotta work on that. So, I wanna ask you a question. How many people are not where they wanna be right now? Raise your hand. That's pretty much everybody, right? Okay. What we do, is it really that difficult?
No.
Does anybody say yes? It's not that difficult, right? So we're all in agreement. Okay. So everybody can do this business, correct? Yeah? You all like think I'm setting you up for something. You're all like scared. I am. So let me ask you a question. I want you to write down on that piece of paper underneath there how many people, or how many months you've been in the business. 1 month, 20, 30, 40. Underneath that, I want you to write how many people you put on your list to date. How many prospects? Underneath that, I want you to write how many people you haven't talked to yet out of that list. So how many people have been in more than a month? Keep your hands up. More than 2 months. More than 24 months. Okay. More than 36 months. Okay. Anybody want to shout out how many people? Put your hands down. Anybody want to shout out how many people they put on their list? I put 200 in 25 minutes. Down. Anybody else? 400? I mean, you don't have to keep going higher. You don't have to outdo me. Anybody put 50? What's the average? 20?
100.
Anybody? Shout out some numbers. How many you put down?
100.
I'm not going to pick on you. You can say it. Like, nobody wants to say it. You put 1,000. 50? How many? How many? How many? How many? Shout it out real loud. Okay? They got to hear you.
10.
Okay. Everyone's got to hear you. Can you guys hear? 50, 120, 10, 150, 75. Okay? So call it 50, 100 people. Now, how many? How many people have more than 20 people that you have in contact with? More than 50? More than 100? You got a lot. A lot that you have in contact with. Put your hand up. I'm not picking on you. Just put your hands up. Put up real high. Okay. All right. And the baby doesn't bother me. I love babies. It doesn't bother me, really. I don't care. Okay, put your hands down. So let me ask you a question. Picture this. You come to work for me. I'm your boss. I'm a good boss. I have a product called Nerium, okay? I'm going to pay you, what is it right now, the ninth? The ninth?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to pay you $50,000 cash. Cash. Tax-free. Okay, I'll pay the tax on it. What I want you to do, you come work for me, and I want you to share my company and my product with everybody you know. That's all I want you to do. My product, my business, my company. I want you to share with everybody you know. I'm going to pay you, all those people that you have on your list, I'm going to pay you 50 grand. How many people would do that before the end of the month for me? Raise your hand real high. Raise it up real high and look around. That's pretty much everybody, right? Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. So, let's go to the other round. How many people said they were building this business for their kids? Raise your hand. Real high. That's a lot of people. How many are building it for themselves? How many people are building it for somebody in the family? How many people are building it for me? Well, no, I was going to get somebody. Okay. So, I'm gonna take a guess. Well, so you're not where you want to be. You've made a list. Ask you something. Anybody have kids?
Yeah.
You tell your kids what to do, right from wrong, all that stuff. Yeah, a lot of kids will do. You say, you do what I say, because I'm the parent, right? But they do what you do. Am I right? Most of the time? Okay. So you're telling me for 50 grand you call all those people. Yes?
Yes.
But you won't do it for your own kids. I'm just waiting to see how quiet it's going to stay. I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I'm trying to make you think right now. Like this is, if you don't get anything else, I want you to get this. Immediately you raise your hand, you do it for 50 grand. 50 grand. I don't know if that's going to get you. Maybe pay off some bills. But I know you love your family. I know you love you. I know you love your parents. But what you're telling them is that the fear is more important than that. Would you agree?
Yes.
I have the same exact fear, every single one of you. I'm no special. I mean, gosh, if you could have heard me sometimes, I was ridiculous. I told my friend he was stupid, I hung up on him. I would literally cry that I couldn't do this. Right? All my friends were saying no. But my parents were more important than anything. Let me ask you this, and I've said this 100 times. If a grizzly bear came through that door and your kids were right here playing, would you fight that grizzly bear to protect your kids?
Yes.
And I know some of you go, well, Annie was talking back to me earlier. Let me mess around with the bear later. No, instantly you say yes, right? Yes. You know if that's an 800-pound grizzly, you're not going to make it, right? Yes. That's going to kill you. You don't even think about the consequences. But you won't call some person that doesn't mean anything in your life, maybe your best friends, but they're not going to pay your bills. They're not going to get you out of hot. They're not gonna save your house. They're not gonna put your kids through college. They're not gonna put food on the table. And you worry about what they're gonna say. Am I on or not? Yes. Do you hear how silly that is? I really, really want you to understand. So I'm gonna give you a way out of that. And I tell this to everybody. And people ask me all the time, how'd you do it? What'd you do? You guys wanna know?
Yes.
Okay. I made, I don't know if it's the right word, ultimatum or something. Like I drew my line in the sand. I built the brick wall so high, so thick I couldn't knock it down. And I said, if I don't make a phone call when somebody tells me no, I have to pick up the phone and call my dad in 15 seconds and say this. It was written on a whiteboard. Dad, it's Danny. I must not care about you because I'm not willing to make these phone calls, so I'm not going to take care of you. You're on your own. Don't even say bye and hang up on me. Would I ever make that phone call? That's like me saying to you, how many people are doing it for their kids? Okay? Like half the hands went up now. Now you're like, I'm not putting my hand up. That's like this. If you've been in this business a year and you're not where you want to be, go do this. I dare you. Go sit your kids down at the dinner table and say, you know what? I guess I don't care about you that much. Because I'm not willing to make these calls, so you're not going to get what you want. I'm not going to be home with you. I'm going to keep working, and I'm not going to be around for you. Would you ever sit your kids down and say that?
No.
But that's what you're doing. So quiet. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Yes. Now that I beat you up a little bit, I'm going to get you out of it. I'm going to get you out of it. Do you guys want to be where I'm at?
Yes.
You willing to do what I did?
Yes.
My 5 knucklehead friends are in my business. They all join. They go, well, why? I wonder why. Gosh, I wonder why we didn't get started. I go, because you're dumb. They're my friends. It's because they're my friends, and I'm the guy with the lampshade on his head in college, diving downstairs. Like that was me. My point is, I had such passion to go through this. I did everything wrong. Everything. They had to fix everything. But I went and did it. My reason is so strong. Let me show you something. So I had this is my planner. You can't see it, but I've got a picture of my dad holding me when I was a year old. You guys see that a little bit? You're saying all because it's a cute little kid, right? This is what drove me. If I had a bad day, this was in front of me all the time. Like that. All the time. Right there. And I'd look at that. I mean, there's no way I could let him down. But you know what happens with most people, and with me? Something happens and we make an excuse. We let a day go by, and another day go by, and another day go by. If I look at every single one of you and go, what is the reason you're not where you're supposed to be? You know what most people said? And I've done it. You guys know that I've talked to you, I've asked you different things. You might not realize that I did it, but they go, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Is that fair? Yes. Aren't we trying to teach our kids and our family that they can go do anything and that they can be empowered? So if you know what you need to do, why don't we do it? What do you think the reason is? Oh, I don't know if everyone's lazy. I mean, I'm ambitiously lazy. I'm willing to work my tail off to be lazy. I think a little bit is fear. Wouldn't you agree? Yes. So let me get you out of that. Let me do it a different way. This will help. This is what helped me. I was scared to death, but here's what I thought. What if you changed your mindset of thinking from fear to helping? Now I know you go, oh yeah, I know we're trying to help people, whatever. Let me tell you a story. So, and I'm just going to use today's case. So my parents lost the house we lived in for 35 years in like late August, early September. I joined the business on September 17th. You know, right when they were losing the house and they had to move out, a couple days after that. And let's say that you get started now, January, okay? And over the next, 8 months, I'm on your list, but you don't call me. Why don't you call me? Why don't you call the people on your list? What? You're scared to, you fear of what they'll say. You don't, there's something, right? So I'm your friend, you don't know what's going on in my family, and they're losing their house. You don't call me, and then you call me on September 17th, and I joined the business. In the third month, I hit NMB 1-star. I'm making a 6-figure income. I'm crushing. I'm working my tail off. And I find out you've been in the business since January. And you never told me about this business. And I was saying to people earlier, if you had told me about this business in January, do you know my parents wouldn't have lost their house? My dad probably wouldn't have aged 10 years over the last couple of years. And your picture would be above my mantle. And everybody would go, who's that? That's the person that saved my life. So I want you to back up and put yourself in that position. It's all mental. You don't have to physically be broke. You don't have to physically be in that position, but mentally you have to. And you have to say, there's somebody like Danny in my list that I haven't called, that is dying for. Somebody's praying for an opportunity right now, and you're sitting on it, and you're not sharing it with them. Do you guys get that? I mean, forget the money, but think of what it's going to feel like to go change somebody's life. The money will always happen. But changing somebody's life and saving somebody's life is a whole different ballgame. Like, the money doesn't mean anything anymore. It really doesn't. And I never would have said that 4.5 years ago because I was broke and it meant everything to me. It doesn't mean anything. As long as my parents are taken care of, you know, I can do the things that I want to do. I don't care about all the other stuff. But I travel around looking for somebody that I can go help. I called a friend of mine, and I'm going to help you with your list also. I called a friend of mine, or texted him on Facebook, Bill Mulligan. I went to 7th and 8th grade with him, private school. And I said to him, Bill, I'd love to chat with you about what I'm doing. Didn't say anything about Nerium, nothing. He says, I'm totally open. And I was like, oh crap, what do I do now? This was like 2 years ago, a year ago. So I had him come out to a meeting in Maryland. I did the presentation. He didn't join. I must have been terrible. I don't know. Brought his wife back the next week. Somebody else did the presentation. They joined for $1,000. Anyway, they fast star qualified, got their iPad, working on getting their Lexus. And he called me and he goes, thank you so much for introducing this business to me. I made a little bit of money. And my relationship with my wife is better. My relationship with my daughter is better. My relationship with my customers in real estate is better. It's changed everything. So many people I've talked with, I said, what's the difference here? He goes, the personal development, the people, I feel different. I feel better. Like I can go do something else. So if you change the way you think about this business, if you're worried about what they'll think, you're thinking about what they'll think about your business. You're thinking about them as dollar signs. Why don't you think about it as like, I'm going to share this with everybody I can. The ones that want help will get it. Now, granted, you got to be ready for all those people that say no. All of them. Like most of my friends said no. They still laugh at me. Do I care? Nope. You know what I did with my buddy Mike? So I go to Hawaii like 3 times a year. I sent him a coconut. With a little stick figure on it, said, this will be you having fun, but you're too busy working. Everywhere I went, I would get off the plane. I did this for the first 2 years. Get off the plane, go to whoever's, like, you get off the plane and you know the stores, little stores in the airport. I'd get some postcards. Hey man, this should be you, but you're too busy working. Sucks to be you. Hey, I know you're gonna get this when you get home from work. Like, man, how was your boss with you today? Like, just stupid thing, just dumb. Or like a frown face. That's you. Like, whatever. I mean, you name it, I did. Ding dong. Hey, one of us is dumb and it's not me. Figure out who it is. These are just my buddies. I called him up and I go, dude, you want to go play golf? He goes, are you in Maryland? I go, no, I'm in Hawaii. He goes, dude, I got to work. I got sucks for you, and I hang up. I did it so many times that I would answer and he'd go, like, something you. Yeah. We were just laughing about it the other day. So, those 5 friends, I went to West Virginia University We go up there every year, where they do. I missed it like for 4 years because I was broke, and then I was building this business for 2 years. We go up there every year, about 9 to 15 of us, for a friend of ours that died. So we go to a tailgate, we go tailgating. Do you think we're really working? Anybody ever tailgated? Like, halftime you don't get into the game. Or you sleep in the parking lot. So over there, I went up this last year, and I paid for everything. Everything. Like, we went into the beer store, and it was like truckloads of stuff. Like, I didn't realize we were buying everything. But everything. I paid for everything. And they go, why are you doing it? Because I want to. So then, cooking out and stuff like that, and I go, let me ask you guys a question. 4 or 5 of them there. And I said, how much money are you guys going to make over the next 4 days while we're here? And they're like, nothing. I go, why not? Oh, we're not working. And I never say this to anybody. These are my buddies. And I'm so mad, like, I got to get them back. So I go, well, I'll make about 10 grand. One of us is stupid. I don't know who it is. Figure it out. And I left. I didn't say another word about it. 2 weeks later, they got me on a call, all of them, and said, all right, we need to hear about this business. They joined the business, and I asked them, is this anything like you thought it would be? They go, nothing. They go, we're having the time of our life. So much fun. So, people that say no, you just go back to it. The fear of that, you just got to figure out what's going to make you go do it. I mean, have you guys had enough? Like, are you satisfied with where you're at? No. Let me show you something else real quick. I mean, I saw my parents, my family twice in about 4.5 years. And I fly home every month to see my mom and dad. I flew home for 1 day on my dad's birthday one time. I'll never do it again. One day I flew from California to Maryland, took him out to dinner, surprised him, and then flew back. It was a nightmare. It was like, he goes, oh, you glad you came? I'm like, yeah, me too. Like, I had to fly right back. I had an appointment the next day. I was exhausted. But that memory, I will never, ever forget my entire life. No money in the world could ever change that. But I needed the money and the freedom to be able to do that. Was it worth everything I've been through for that one night with my dad? Here's the other thing. Let me just paint another picture. Anybody have alien parents? And you wish you could spend every moment with them. And I know there's people here that have lost parents that said, damn it, I wish I could have spent more time with them. Am I right? Yeah. And when that happens, something like that happens, happened with my grandfather. I was so close to him. I go, if I had just worked this business more and not care what anybody thought, I could be over there. I never miss anything now. Nothing. My cousins call me, I go visit them. My uncle calls me, I go visit them. No matter who it is, where it is, I will drop what I'm doing and I'll go visit my family. And now, because I have the money and the time, my dad, I said, pick wherever you want to go and visit your family, because he's 87. His knees are bad now, and he's like kind of wobbly. He's got a little bit of Parkinson's. And I said, where do you want to go? And so I'm going to fly him to California, I'm going to fly him to Texas, I'm going to fly him to Florida, and then we're going to England. And he goes, well, when are we going to do that? I go, whenever you want. I don't care. Here's my point. Scared just like you guys, list just like you guys. I mean, even the ladies, I'll pick on the ladies, you're women. Like, I'm a construction dude. And I went out and did it, and I look back all the time, and I laugh now at all the things people said to me, all the screw-ups I did, all, like, ladies throwing me out of their salon. I'm doing a presentation, she's like, this is too much. You're a construction guy, get out. Like, get your stuff and get out. Not kidding. But talk about embarrassing. And I'm like, with the brand partner, I'm like, you ruined it. I'm like, like the worst. Over and over and over and over and over and over again. It was like, I will do this until I don't screw up anymore. And I'm still doing it. And I'm still screwing up. And I'm still scared of all. So, let me show you.